I'm hoping my connection is stable. I dropped some frames when I started, but it looks good now. So, I'm at the point where I'm doing Heavensward. Yeah, what can I do while I wait for that to pop? Which crafting classes don't I have at 60 yet? Yeah, I should be able to do leatherworker pretty quick. OBS setting real quick. Yeah, I did do that. I should not have any unsaved savings. I literally just opened it and closed it. Let's see, what do you have in here? That one's repeatable. Dollmail skin. It's the one that I have a ton of right now. It is that. Reaches of naming. Do I have... Yeah, that should... Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. I think I have what I need to make that. And then linen, if I recall, is just super low level. Is it linen cloth? Linen yarn? Alright, it was the cloth. So I just need to get more flax again. Now that also uses that. because it's repeatable. Queuing up as a tank has been real slow these last few days. I don't need a ton of flax, but I mean, I keep finding recipes as I'm leveling that need it. Hopefully I will not need to do this again once I finish up with the Heavensward crafting. I'm curious how long those flax seeds actually take to grow. Just plant some of them at the Free Company house. What the fuck was that? don't like that thing had a chain on it. I didn't even notice that it said it dropped an identification key there. You guys have my HP and I'm the tank. what the fuck? Ooh. Yep. Use an ability, don't do anything. I'd still do it. I've been told that I shouldn't do it at all in dungeons, and I'm just like, well, the healer does more DPS than I do. I might as well let it DPS. Okay, I was gonna say, that's what the hell's going on. There's loot. I need loot. Another healing thing. Ooh, more loot. Give me tanking items. Ah, yes. The person whose ass I've already kicked once. Middle sword. I'm assuming you mean like a sword appears in the middle. That was quite the large AoE.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For al amigo! I have you now. How'd you like these? Yeah!
Why is... I'm like, that DPS is just running around in the AoE.
Sloppy. Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For al amigo! I have you now. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot like the boss at the end of the regular library. I can't. The goooo library or whatever. Everyone's. I explain that fight to people, and everyone's just like, "What?" And I'm like, "You'll understand what I mean when it happens."
How'd you like these? Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For al amigo! I have you now. How'd you like these? Yeah! Sloppy.
Yeah, that DPS is just not paying attention. No disrespect to him, but everyone else ran into the middle. Yeah, I don't know what that DPS is doing. He ran further into it.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For al amigo! I have you now. How'd you like these? Yeah! Sloppy. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
That was a big leap. I'm not sure I make it to there. Yeah.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For al amigo!
Why isn't he dead? Why don't we just kill him? It's just like Lolorito. Fucking just stab him. He deserves it from what happened in A Realm Reborn.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
Literally just behead him. Just end it right there.
We did it! We showed the bastards! Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Vanguards! Attack!
7 hells. Do you hear that?
What the fuck?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
I mean, you're in a freaking Garlean base. What do you expect?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
They're just Donkey Kong ground pounding them, huh?
Gods help us. What were we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful.
You guys had to have been aware that there was a chance that you just die in combat.
Mighty Ralker. Grant us the strength to crush.
I also don't particularly care for the fact that it's calling them soldiers of the faction of the clothes they're wearing when I know for a fact that that's not a
There
thing.
you are. As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
What did you expect?
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Illbird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
Again, just behead his ass. You just beat his ass down in combat for the second time.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
Also, I already defeated Nidhogg too.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal. You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power.
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
All right then. Did he just commit suicide?
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Timtimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida. There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here. Not like this. Take her. Please, you have to take her.
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you. Go!
Okay, I think they're done with... I want to say they're using a leaf blower outside, but I have no idea why, being that we don't have... We don't really have, like, trees and plants around these apartments. I mean, being who I am, I don't feel like I should just run. I mean, Thancred can't come grab me too, because Ida would just just run away.
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida.
I didn't really
Well,
think it did, but I'm
Let
just
us
like...
see how good a student I truly was.
It's like being who I am in the story. You can't just tell me I need to run away. That looks very... Is it Allegan? The pattern on that thing? I feel like with a scene as emotional as this, there should be voice acting. In one way or another, they were getting me on that ship. But yeah, I don't understand really the reoccurring villains thing. It's like, why not just kill them? You know he's an asshole. He's gonna do shit again. Yeah, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. As far as I'm aware, I'm only like 3 or 4 quests from entering Stormblood. I don't know if it's pre-Stormblood. Like the first... the 4.0 or whatever quests. And again, I ask why they didn't just destroy Nidhogg's eyes instead of throwing them into whatever was below Ishgard. They say no one could survive down there, but the bridge was clearly built, and you see those pillars go all the way down into nothingness. So there has to be something down there. God, they're giving me a lot of music right now. I'm not really sure what Sid would know about that. I mean, it's not technology. At least as far as I can tell.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
I'm just curious why there's a thing that I'm needing to see now or something.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Yes, he asked you a specific question, and you're like, this is this, like, town, or I guess the fucking, what we call this part of the lands. Like, why would they know what, Thanalan is, if they aren't from Eorzea?
Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port.
What?
Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order.
I'm curious if he just, like, falls flat on his face here.
Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
It's just like stomach growls straight on the face.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Okay, yeah.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Sweet. Someone bought all of my enchanted hard silver ink. Now what in the hell am I doing? Go send my retainers out on ventures real quick. I'm pretty sure they're back. Give me that money. Why are you guys still giving me level 50 stuff? They all got together real fast.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Yes, sir. A Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
What destroyed it? That seems like rather important information that you're just kind of glossing over.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
How do we plan on destroying it while
Agreed.
it's in a cocoon?
There is,
especially?
however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Just launch me from a cannon with my sword.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
It's that Nero guy? I think that's his name.
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too,
Yeah.
Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Yeah, I'm not sure that literally anybody else, aside from me, Sid, and Alphano, are familiar with Nero.
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanal since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry. Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity.
I don't know if that's something that you want to be telling them right now, but you know.
And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it?
I'm not entirely sure he follows
What
that
say
creed,
you?
but...
Do we take this villain at his word? As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
Why do I feel like this is just gonna end with, like, Lolorito paying him off to try and get Omega? Oh, I guess that was the other one who was after that, wasn't it? The one who's already dead.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
My blade is yours.
She doesn't even turn. Like, not even slightly.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Was he scratching his ass there? What the hell was that? He, like, turned slightly and then his arm started shaking. Huh. Yeah, I'm not really sure why you, I mean, we're riding our own ship. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Where does this get parked? Alright then. Where are you walking to? That's not the right way. I can't help but notice that they're all just staring at him. Do I offer him tea? Why isn't Philomene there to offer him alcohol? I assume is what you would do.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight.
Isn't magitech basically just an Empire thing?
It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation.
What would that be?
Wed calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By
gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Apparently. I expected
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
the way he was charging, I was expecting like a glomp hug or something, just picking her up.
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly, but now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Why didn't he just call her name? Also, I will never understand why that animation is a thing. I do in fact remember that because my character felt sufficiently violated. I get most of it, but why the monocle? I don't understand the monocle part. I mean, it looks rather nice. It just Yeah, that I. God, so more music. There. It doesn't look like there's an inn for me to add that to my glamour chest here. Unless it's somewhere else. Do that real fast. Yeah, I'm like, why are they showering me with music all of a sudden? I don't think there was hands in that, was there? No. I'm not going to put the monocle in there. I'm still going to keep using what I've been using. Alrighty then.
Now, where was that? Ah. I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
I assume that once he got in there, yeah, he just fucking stuck around for as long as he could.
Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
How does everyone know who he is, by the way? Everyone's just like, ah, yes, the guy with the white hair, Sid.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it?
This guy just sounds like an idiot.
It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
I mean, how long... The thing is, I'm like, how long has he been away from the Empire?
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Okay, how the hell does he wield that frickin' hammer with a shield in one hand? I guess it's strapped to his arm, not in his hand. How does he plan on blocking when he's wielding that hammer? It's like, I'm wearing it for the stats.
It's all over now. An opening.
My right to strike.
No holding back.
Leave this to me.
You watching, Cavallero?
Your defense is nothing.
Oh, is he hitting them?
With soul and steel.
Like, I didn't notice, but is his AoE just hitting all of his own teammates too? It doesn't seem like that really matters. I don't like the sound of that, really. Why am I grinning at that? Why am I grinning at the fact that he just gave me some Magitech armor? Yeah, but I was doing that anyway. Just like, oh, now you can blow them up.
It's all over now.
Oh, that doesn't like one-shot them.
Your defense is lacking.
Is my right to strike?
You watching, Papolino?
I just feel like that my character shouldn't have been like, ah, yes. Oh, let me just get in there and... Where's the third one?
No retreat. No surrender.
Ah, okay.
I have you.
This one'll sting.
I stupidly thought that one of the buttons would be like, get out of it.
With soul and steel!
No moving back. Leave this to me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
It's all over now. Your defense is lacking.
Is my right to strike?
I mean, that's what you were doing?
You watching, Papolino? No retreat. No surrender.
And he was literally just running away, so... Them. Augmented suffering.
With soul and steel!
No holding back.
But basically what I was saying is I don't think my character should have, like, seen the Magitech armor and been like, ah, yeah.
Internal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
How do you... Well, what do you think? Her response was that I didn't understand what they said.
I suppose not.
I'm all for beating up more gods.
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
I don't like how evil he still sounds when he says anything.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
It does not matter what Nero says. He always says it in, like, the most evil, conniving way he can. What the fuck? Did it just summon an ocean or some crap? What? That was not a small amount of water. That was kind of gross looking. Now it's turned into a DBZ fight. They're both casting the Kamehameha way. Ewa.
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
I thought we were in Omega, which I was gonna question because I was like, why is it so small looking? How would all of us be in this giant room?
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Do we still see, is it Ralger?
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
What?
Omega destroyed the cocoon.
What? I thought that was just a tattoo. What in the fuck just happened?
Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Isn't that how things usually malfunction? It was all going good until it suddenly wasn't. He isn't really the Heidi type. I mean, we don't know what in the fuck is going on, so... I think our testimony means very little. Did it say that, I mean, did the machine we were in say that the primal was defeated? I have no idea. At the end there, it looked like it flew off in a random direction, and then Omega, like, flew in a slightly different direction, or towards the ground? I'm not entirely sure. Yep. Shinryu? And no doubt that's also where Ida is.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbird's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too. And I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louisoix. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
The name thing is the
Of
most
course.
confusing part.
We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong, There must have been a lot of them.
I don't know if that's like an asshole thing. I don't.
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Mostly, like, aren't the Archons supposed to be like scholars? So why be a pugilist? Why punch
standing
things?
Against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
I would just think, like, being scholarly, you'd pick a spellcasting class. It just makes more sense to me.
Children of the land, do you hear? Echoes of truths that once rang clear. Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near. But flames that burn full bright soon fell dark. Memories dimmed by shadowed hearts. In the waxing gloom did wane the lovers' passion welling within. Sacrifice a final plea to her kin. Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke, scattering her words to the wind. Swelling over long seas of blood are a song, and death an afterthought to those who fight for naught. Lying children of the land and service, why must you turn to empty bliss? Tell me why break trust, why turn the past to dust, seeking solace in the abyss. Tell me why create a circle none can break. Why must you let go the life you were bestowed? This I fear I'll never know.
Okay. I like that song too much to skip that. I wish there was actually just a quest that's like, go to an inn room and sleep. Actually go rest. Just go to the inn, doze. I am still wondering what Lalafell he made this kid with, or if it's not actually like biological, but I assume it is looking at them. Did he? I don't remember that line, but I can understand that. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of big for for a Lalafell. All right then. Was the under the helmet shot of him smiling really so needed? I don't know if Alphino's a man. I'm pretty sure he's still a teenager.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
She just
Alphino,
got
a
down
message
those
from the
stairs in
Alliance.
like 2 to 3 steps.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly.
And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
They aren't planning on invading, no, because that would probably get more of the Empire's attention.
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available? Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well.
God, every time I go somewhere, I always got these fucking healers dragging me down. No.
I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming. But we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
Alice in her weird, creating a sword. I don't understand how she's supposed to be a physical person.
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
What's with that change of music all of a sudden for that?
Ready, my friend? Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Gyr Abania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamigan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate. Together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
All right then. Just gotta show off more character stomachs, huh? Alright then.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Look around for a bit. I can't go in there. Can't help but notice that all those buildings are closed. I mean, we're just at the edge of Garlean territory, so... I have a feeling that, again, I'm not really sure about the change of music there, but I have a feeling that Robon doesn't really know who Lys is, unless he was for some reason in on it. I'm assuming this is still relevant here. Did she go straight there or something? I'm heading slightly more south first. I also believe this is where my friend said that I could get level 65 gear for my gatherer's scripts. Which works for me because my mining is level 65, if I recall. I assume it's like a Garlean scout thing. Or some big gators. Is it not here? Is it on that thing? Or is it down there? I'm not just blind, am I? Not sure yet what I think about the new battle theme. I don't like how bulbous that spider is. Jesus. The
I remember the old stories, how the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralga's Reach, a holy place, and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
Not really sure how he knows that. Also, do I have a new Paladin quest already? I figured that wouldn't happen until I was at level 61.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralga's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. It was the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask.
Ah, don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monargo told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolger it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
Well, since I have the teleport point, I'm gonna go see about this tournament of the century. I assumed it would end up happening at the Gladiators Guild. You're here, huh? I already kind of kicked your butt once, though. I'm not familiar with this one. Oh, that's not, is it? Yeah, it is. Huh. Black Atlas. All right then. Everyone's like, I want to fight you, and I'm like, oh, I don't really think you want me to fight you. I don't recognize that name. Hey, you've got the same sword I do. Uh-huh. I'm slightly insulted by the fact that they didn't say they had the Warrior of Light there. There's like an acclaimed adventure. 63. I thought it'd be 61. It doesn't even give a skill. The EXP these quests give are quite high. I just noticed the snake lady with the sword. There's only 3 of them, huh? I assume that would be whatever. How in the hell would she know that this is a thing? I have serious doubts about this. Is that all I have to... Okay, yeah. I don't quite have enough for... Why the vitality? I'm just slightly curious why the vitality on that. I'm pretty sure my HP doesn't really matter as long as I am below the level of things around me, or around with that the sneak skill. If anything attacks me, I'm just dead. You know, I could just go straight for that, actually, once I have the 30 more scripts. Oh, that's level 66. Okay. Still, I think it's gonna be... It's the highest perception increasing thing I can get. I mean, it's still just a giant floating crystal to me. I can teleport to it. I just want to go straight to getting more fending gear.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
I don't know if that's actually any better than... The thing is that I bought, I think it was item level 255 stuff for my healer a while back in Ishgard. I guess that'll do for Summoner, but I'm literally not even playing the Summoner half of Scholar. I was already doing that. Was it not supposed to work when I was there? Wonders if I remember who he is. Can I take both? I thought I was only supposed to take one. hard it'll be to craft those? I haven't looked too far at... Is my blacksmithing at 60? I don't even remember. Because that makes most of them. Why was that? I'm slightly curious why the damage is higher on mine. I mean, most of the stats are slightly better on the one I can buy, but... No, my blacksmith is not quite 60 yet. I mean, I think she's got cat ears, so... Alright then. I figured that would be a slightly harder fight than that. Just kinda 2 level 60 guys. That doesn't quite go all that well with my my skirt from the library dungeon. Oh, there's one of those bosses. Hmm.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
We have a new face, don't we? So why do you really even have to ask?
Allow me to introduce Monago of Rolga's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole Resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamigan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Aye. Once word spread that we'd won a battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from malms around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
How do we... Why do we know the names of all these places? It's not like we're Imperials. Okay, well, I'm gonna call my stream there. If I'm up much longer, then I'll basically have like 8 hours before I have to leave for work, not get up for it. So, I will most likely be back tomorrow for at least a few hours. I've kind of been doing like a day on, a day off lately, but that's just because I haven't been sleeping all that well. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.